So I try to focus my stories on ideas or topics that will impact the people because we all have different struggles in life, whether it's a disability, whether it's being bullied, whether it's like people who have they're living in an unclean like environment and they want to change that or help the environment, stuff like that. So each video has a message, and I think that helps because you never know what the internal struggle that someone's facing out there is, and maybe that video can potentially give them hope or strength.
Today's guest, she is definitely looking for the good in the world. Nana, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so grateful to have you with me today. I actually got to know you through one of your videos. My sister sent me one of your videos that you did on a facility in the Netherlands that deals with dementia. And my dad is dealing with dementia, and seeing that facility was incredible that you highlighted it, that I wouldn't have known about it. And then I sent it on to a friend of mine who is a commercial designer who was fascinated by it, who also passed it on to her network. So great things do expand because you've highlighted them. So I'm grateful you get to do that. I would love to know a little about you, how you got started, and why you got started doing these videos.
My name is Nana. I started making videos in the summer of 2022. Um, I was thinking of all the good that's in the world and how we often don't hear much about it. Like whenever you open the news, you always see the negative, negative, negative. Um, you barely see any of the positive and the good stuff that's happening. So I was like, why is that? And I wanted to I would always tell my family and my parents about all these good things that were happening. So they gave me the idea. They were like, why don't you do videos? So it all started that way. And then I've originally started to make videos in Arabic, and then I switched to English last December. It was a very exciting thing because I feel you could spread so much good news with people online on the internet through social media, and you create basically a ripple effect. So as you said, your sister shared it to you, you shared it to your friend, and it keeps going. So you truly never know when like a video is gonna go viral and like who it might reach. Like the impact that a video can create is truly mind blowing, and that's what I think. So the whole purpose of the videos is to show what's good in the world and to inspire, give hope, give a feeling of like there's still good people out there. There's still good things, good innovations. And yeah, that's basically it. That's why I make videos.
How do you choose your videos? Because you have a bunch of them and they're all wonderful. How do you even choose the topics?
So I like to make like categories. Like one video could talk about a person making an impact. Something that has to do like different categories like people, places, countries that are doing good things, like new innovations, inventions, stuff like that. So I divide it into these categories and then I start researching, lots of research. I try to look up people that made a difference, heroes in society. Um, a lot of times, like the dementia video, I was researching like about dementia and like the problems that are happening and how people deal with like nursing homes and stuff like that. So then it came up how like this facility in the Netherlands is doing an amazing job trying to help people live with dementia like very normal lives. So a lot of times you look at the problem and you try to find the solution instead of just highlighting the problem. um you just focus on, okay, who is changing it, how are you doing that. There are a lot of websites that I use. Google, obviously, it's the best thing that I use. But there's a website called Good News Network. That's a great website, always highlights lots of good news in the world. And yeah, it takes time, but it's a very fun process. I enjoy it.
That's exactly what I like to learn about is from you. You, what happens within you as you're researching these pieces and putting them together?
I'm mind blown because the stories that I'm hearing is like, oh my God, how are these people doing these things at any age? Like you can truly make an impact, whether you're 5 years old or whether you're in your 80s or 90s. Like everyone has the power to make a huge impact, and it inspires me. It gives me like a good energy boost. Like the the amount of positivity I have just from hearing these stories is incredible. And it gives me like inspiration that in the future I want to also like do something like that, or fight for a cause that I am passionate about.
I think you hit on something that's so important because you're looking at things that are positive. Your outlook is positive too. And a lot of people don't realize that when we look at negative things, our thought process changes and we start seeing things as if they're that way, when in reality, they're not. There's a lot of great things in this world. You said you started doing videos in Arabic. Elaborate on your background a little bit.
Got it. So I'm born in Egypt. All my family's Egyptian, but I immigrated to the US with my family when I was 3. So I'm basically half Egyptian, half American, but like within me, I'm always having this like weird culture. Like I don't like a third culture person. Like I don't know if I'm 100% this or 100% that. It's like a mix of both worlds. And that was a very interesting perspective, seeing the world from two different cultures. Because at home, I'm always speaking Arabic with my family. We're always our conversations are different. And then outside, when I go to school or to work, um, you see a whole different culture that's out there. So it gives you like an idea of how big the world is and how different people think, and the thought process is different. So I'm happy that I get to experience both cultures, not just one.
I've had these conversations with my nieces because I'm originally from Lebanon and grew up in the States. My nieces were born here, but they're also one parent is American, one parent is Lebanese. So they also get the diversity of the cultures, and the way that they look at the world is a lot more open minded. Would you consider yourself to be more open minded? How do you consider yourself to be because you have two different cultures within you?
I definitely think I'm very open-minded, because I get the best of both worlds. Like I know in some like Middle Eastern cultures, a lot of people are like not open to talking about like subjects that might be sensitive, or they're not really open to talking about some topics. But with me growing up in an Egyptian household, but at the same time I'm living in America, so I understand that these topics, or the things that I like to talk about, they're acceptable in society, and my parents are very supportive. It's like not like I truly feel I'm not 100% Egyptian, because there are a lot of like ideologies or beliefs that like I'm not 100% aligned with. And even with the American side, there are a lot of ideas and stuff that I also don't 100% agree with. Like I try to take the best of both worlds. I leave the negative out of both out, and I just basically just grab what's good from each side. Yeah.
How do you deal with things that aren't according to your beliefs? Besides leaving the negative out, like how do you process things?
I try to think of it as each person has a different perspective, and each perspective is should be respected. Like as long as that person, or whatever's happening in the world, isn't affecting me negatively, each person is free to do or to believe in whatever they want to believe. um and I truly believe that yes, we're all different, but at the end we're all human. We're truly all the same. You can have different thoughts, different ways of thinking, different experiences in life because I believe that the experiences you grow up with or you deal with truly shape who you are as a person. Like if I grew up in Egypt, I definitely think that I would have a different outlook on life. It like it truly the experiences and the people that you're surrounded with and the environment that you're in truly shape who you are. And I try not to judge people. I try to accept everyone as they are. And it's okay to know that we're all different, but at the end we're all human. That's what I believe in.
How well do you see yourself when you're out with your friends and you have a cultural background that is different, yet life around the States is obviously a different culture? How well do you feel you blend in, or do you even care to blend in?
I definitely don't think that I really blend in. Blending in is kind of a struggle. But I don't mind it. Like I'm proud of the culture that I grew up with and like the way that I live my life and everything. So I don't mind that I like stick out. Or that like a lot of times with my friends when we're talking about stuff, I'm like, oh well that's different from me. Like I don't do this or like it's a different culture, it's a different way of thinking, and I don't really mind it, like even though it's definitely hard to blend because most of my friends are American. They I don't really know any Egyptian people around here.
What gives you the strength to be yourself? Because a lot of you're 19, a lot of the younger generation, they struggle so much in their teen years. Even if they grew up completely in the States, they struggle with who they are. What gives you the strength to stand out and be yourself?
Okay, so I like to think of it that life is short and that we all only have one life. So why should I live a life not true to myself? Like every moment or every decision or anything that I do, it should be something that I'm doing with love and happiness and gratitude. I don't want to act like a person who I'm not. Like I truly want to live the life that I want to live without being I truly don't care about judgment or how people view me as a person. As long as I'm not harming them, I'm not doing anything bad. Um, I truly believe that no one should live a life that they are not happy with. And because happiness is the most important thing. You can pretend to be someone else or have a personality that's not yours, but you like on the inside you truly will not be happy. So I am who I am, and I truly believe that you shouldn't like fake it. You shouldn't like wear a mask and pretend to be someone that you're not.
Do you know how you got to this thinking? I'm attempting to get from you those nuggets that if a young woman, a young lady out there is struggling within herself, that she can look to some of these things to go, oh, I can look at it this way. I can use these pieces to help me stand in my own strength. So, do you know how you got to this thinking?
Well, a lot of this thinking came from my parents and how they raised me. Like they would always tell me, don't worry what other people think of you. Because actually, like when I first came to the US, I didn't know any English. I had zero English all throughout kindergarten and first grade. I truly struggled with English. I was taking English as a second language courses up until fourth grade. And at that time, like when I was a kid, I could still remember it until now, which is kind of weird. But I remembered how a lot of people would look at me weird. They would like almost as if like they were bullying me because I can't speak their language. I don't understand what they're saying. I'm sticking out very much. So my parents would always tell me like I remember I would come home from school and I'd be like so upset and they would tell me it's okay. Don't worry what other people think of you because at the end, no one's really gonna remember. Like no one remember, and even if they remember or like it's their life. Don't let other people's thinking dictate what you look like, what you are, how you think. Just it definitely came from my parents. I give it all to them.
Good for you. Because I went through similar experiences. I think anyone that moves from one country to another and is dealing with a new language, you're not only dealing with the language, you're dealing with the complete culture. And you do feel that you're being looked at as if you don't exist in some ways. And you have to find your own strength to really continue moving forward and find who you are till they catch up or they don't catch up, but to really find who you are. Do you think that is part of the reason why you are looking for these videos to promote positivity in the world and the great things that are going on in the world? Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I think it definitely does because I like to think of the videos as the number of views, those are actually real people behind the views. And with my videos, I like to make them very like each video has a different story to tell. Like they're not all following like one theme. Well, it's all like under the band of like kindness, positivity, good news, but each story tells a different message or gives off something special. So like I think like some people are struggling with bullying. So I made a video about like a kid who he was bullied a lot in school and then he decided that he wanted to do something to make him happy. So he started a food pantry when he was a kid. He was like 9. So another video is like people like struggling with stuttering. There was a cafe in Japan where they only hire people that stutter. So people can know that it's okay if you stutter. There's still hope. You can face your problem or try to deal with it in a healthy environment. So I try to focus my stories on ideas or topics that will impact the people because we all have different struggles in life, whether it's a disability, whether it's being bullied, whether it's like people who have they're living in an unclean like environment and they want to change that or help the environment, stuff like that. So each video has a message, and I think that that helps because you never know what the internal struggle that someone's facing out there is, and maybe that video can potentially give them hope or strength.
I think it's so incredible that at 19, you have this wisdom within you to know these pieces and to know the impact that they can have on you and on people around you, and that it's going to resonate throughout the world. Is there a story that you've done that really touched you more than anything in your heart and soul?
Yes. There was a story about a girl. She was in the US. She was, I think, 7 or 9. I forgot. I did it a while ago. But she watched a documentary about the kids in Africa who didn't have clean water. They would walk hours every day to go and just get water that wasn't even clean, and a lot of them died from diseases and stuff like that. And it's an ongoing struggle until today, like how so many countries out there struggle to have clean water. So that girl decided to donate her birthday to clean water. She had a goal of raising money, and the sad part about it was that girl she didn't reach her goal, but her mother told her you could try again next year. But the girl wasn't given that chance because a couple weeks after her birthday, she died in a car accident. And that story was very, very touching for me because when that story spread, people from all over the world heard that girl's story and how she wanted to change the reality of people not having clean water. And people started to donate thousands. And it was from that girl's kindness that thousands of people in, I think it was Ethiopia, they now have clean water. And I was, as much as the story was sad, but it was truly, truly inspiring how one girl potentially saved the lives of thousands of people out there.
That actually gave me goosebumps as you were even telling the story. And it's so wonderful that her impact is going on way after that her life and went on. So she made a gigantic impact. I love hearing these type of stories and knowing that there are people that care. What would you like for yourself, Nana, as you move forward? You're in college right now. You're studying. What are you studying?
Drones.
Drones. What is it that you'd like to see as you move forward, as you graduate? What would you love to impact in the world?
I definitely want to use my platform to definitely create change. But at the same time, with any like with any people that have like a social media following, I feel that you can use the people that follow you to do something incredibly big. Like you can do a fundraiser, or you can do a project, or you can look for a cause that's truly dear to you. Like I have so many ideas that I actually want to implement in the future as I see my page grow, because again, like as the people listening to my stories, I definitely think that they will trust me and trust the stories that I'm talking about. So I really hope that my page can grow to a point where I can use my following to create even a bigger change,
What
like a
kind of change
project.
would you like? What kind of change would you like?
Um, I'm definitely passionate about the water crisis. I'm definitely That's something that really touches me. Actually, okay, so in eighth grade, I watched a documentary about the water crisis. And in eighth grade, I was really involved in school. So we did a fundraiser with the help of my friends, and we were able to fund a well in Uganda. So that's like the water crisis is very, very dear to me, because when you think about it, we use water every single like time of day. Like we can't do anything without water. So without water, people can't go to school. People have diseases. Countries struggle because you can't develop easily as other countries, and it's often something that we take for granted. So that's something that I really want to continue to make an impact on.
I love that. I have an organization that I think you ought to highlight in your program, Charity Water. If you look them up, their story is amazing how it started, and it's all about impacting throughout the world places that are still struggling with water these days. And it does make a huge difference in people's lives and how we show up. One person started it and it's grown to a great organization. So it'd be a wonderful thing. I'm glad you're moving forward with such issues. Is there anything else that you think of that you go, I would love to see an impact? Like for me, I did my platform about kindness, respect, understanding, love, and gratitude. And I think those are like the foundations of inspiring people to look for what's good in the world, to really take a step forward in making not only their lives better, but everything around them better, because we're all connected. So, are there projects besides water that you can think of that go, those are some of my aims? And the reason I'm asking is I'm hoping and really seeking that there'll be others out there that will start looking towards you to help build you up so that you can accomplish those goals, so we can make an impact in the world, because nobody does things alone. You said the followers, that's what this is about, is how do we connect people that are looking to do better things in the world. So what are the things besides the water projects you can think of?
Well, the basis of everything, like including that water, is looking out for others and being kind. So there are loads of other projects that I can definitely think about, like uh kids living in poverty that don't have access to education, people that struggle to have access to food, or they're facing food insecurities. The world is filled with lots of issues, but these issues can be solved because we can all have a very big impact. And I think that again, the basis of everything is looking out for others, knowing that basically put yourself in another person's shoes, because we don't choose where, like, who we grew up with, where we're born, our country. So it's not fair that like someone on the other side of the world is living that way, or like we here, we have so many gifts and stuff like that. It's not fair that we don't seek to at least help them or to bring them up. So there's a lot of projects. Even the environment, it's something that I'm also passionate about because everything is connected. Like the environment, health, everything in life, people, mental health, everything is connected. So yeah.
Why did you choose the major that you did?
So I chose a major that I did because as like an Egyptian household, um my parents wanted me to study something that is definitely I could find a job with in the future, something that's guaranteed. And when I was thinking about what majors are out there, I was really interested in drones because I saw that the impact that drones can have, like drones are the future, and they're doing so many things currently. Like there are drones that plant thousands of trees, there are drones that are saving people from drowning, there are so many different drones, and I think that that field of study is very interesting, and I can potentially make an impact with the knowledge that I have, to make a change in the environment and the world some way somehow.
Do you see any challenges for you at getting any type of work anywhere, honestly, with your thinking and what you're studying?
um well, I think that like it's normal to have struggles all the time, but I definitely believe that no struggle is gonna last forever. There will definitely be like problems or issues or stuff that comes up, but like so many other people did it, so I don't think that it's gonna stop me from doing what I want.
I totally believe that it will not stop you at all. At 19, and you're capable of creating this impact with your videos, and you're fairly young even in the video industry, and you've already created such an impact. I mean, I wouldn't have found you if it wasn't for your video. So that's wonderful that you're already moving forward that way. How much impact do your parents have on how you view the world today?
They have a big impact because my dad always tells me, whenever you meet someone new, always assume the good. Never assume that that person is bad. And he always tells me the majority of people in life are good. It's these some people definitely stick out, but the majority of people are kind. The majority of people want to do good. But with struggles, a lot of times you may have to deal with people that aren't very kind or aren't very appreciative of what you're doing, but you never know what's behind that person, what they're going through. So always basically like excuse them and give them an excuse. It's okay, we don't know what you're going through. So he definitely taught me that, and he teaches me that if you see a problem, if you can't change it, then stop complaining about it. Like you either complain about it and the problem won't go away, or you take action and start to see how you can change this, how you can impact this. But yeah, that he taught me a lot of things, both he and my mom. So they're very influential in that aspect.
I have a few more questions for you, but how do people find you? What's the best place for them to find you?
The best place to find me is on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel. It's smaller. My Instagram page is bigger. It's the biggest thing. But I have an Instagram, a YouTube, a Facebook. So yeah, people can reach me on either these three platforms.
And I'll put the link in our verbiage so that they know where your site is. Nana, if you had the opportunity to stand in front of a lot of the young individuals throughout the world, what would you like to say to them?
That's a hard question. um, I would say to them that always choose kindness. That always put yourself in the other person's shoe. And be kind to everyone because you never know what someone is going through.
On that note, I'm going to ask you, what is kindness?
Kindness is many things. I think kindness is caring, kindness is love, kindness is being helpful to people, and especially to strangers. Because a lot of times we ignore being kind to strangers. We're like, oh, well, someone I don't know, I probably never see them in my life again. But no, you have to be kind to everyone. People that you disagree with, people that you don't like, people that are complete strangers. Always, show care, show love, and show respect. And I think that's what kindness is.
How did you learn kindness?
Um, through my family. Through school, through the and I'm very thankful I grew up in a very healthy environment, healthy social environment. So everyone around me is teaching me how to be kind and the importance of being kind. Even like when things happen or issues happen or problems arise, we all get mad sometimes, we all get upset and stuff like that. But my parents always taught me is to look past the problems and just always be kind to everyone, no matter what that person or no matter what you are going through.
How do you deal with when some people will look at that if you're kind to someone that is not very kind to you, that you're not standing up for yourself or that you're not holding up what people call boundaries? How do you view that?
So I view it as if someone's not being kind to me, it's not my problem. It's I definitely know that they're hurting inside, that they have a struggle. Because I don't know why. I truly believe that everyone is kind. But a lot of times the problems or issues or whatever they're going through, it just covers that kindness that they have. But with the idea with boundaries is when it comes to a point, if that person is harming you mentally, socially, or any type of harm, you you should be like you can be kind to them, but at the same time you can't have you can't allow that I don't know that harm to continue. You have to have a boundary. But I don't like people where it's like, okay, they treat me badly, so I'm gonna treat them badly. That's a big no-no because that's just gonna keep the cycle going. And that just creates so much anger, hatred, negativity inside you, and you will definitely feel it. So, okay, if someone's being mean to you and you're still kind to them, don't ever show anger or hatred towards them.
I hope people are getting all these incredible nuggets from you because that makes such a gigantic difference I say it in a way where you're there's they're putting poison out, but you're drinking it. If you're gonna become as angry as they are, instead of staying true to who you are and staying kind and treating them in a way that is who you are, not what's happening with them, to allow them the opportunity to progress in their own life. Um, what would be one of the most special things that can occur right now with your channel?
Um, Most special? Well, I'm not too sure, but I truly wish that it's making an impact on the lives of people because I'm not necessarily like unless someone reaches out and like tells me I won't really know, but I just wish that I can help just to add to people's like add good to people's day or potentially even change them as people, help them impact them just in a positive way. So the the most special thing, I don't really know. Maybe just like I want the channel to continue growing. Yeah.
Is there a project that you're working on to highlight that is meaningful to you right now?
Right now, I'm working on a video. I'm like still writing the script. It's about in India there's a lot of acid attacks on women.
Mm.
Like a lot of times when women like they refuse to marry someone or like they have problems within their families, um they get acid thrown on them on their faces, and it's very sad. But the good side is that there's a woman, she faced an acid attack, but she decided to start an organization that helps other women face the problem. It provides them with medical treatment, helps them deal with like the pain, like both physically but emotionally, and give them the support. So even though she was affected by it and she got attacked, but she found a light and an ability to change other people's lives. So I really like to look at the basically issues in society, major issues that are happening, but how are they changing them? I don't like to just highlight the issue itself.
I'm with you on that one. What are the solutions that we can actually bring forth that can make an overhaul of how we live as human beings? How much time do you invest into doing each video? Do you think from research all the way till it's completed?
Um, it can take a couple. So research takes time. Research, I would say, takes the most amount of time because digging through all of the stories, it can be kind of difficult because again, like on the news, it's literally only showing the negative. So you have to dig deep to truly find like what's good out there. So research takes a couple of hours, maybe like 2 hours to find a good story to talk about. uh like writing the script, depending also on the like length of the story. My stories are from like 30 seconds to 50 seconds, so that can take like an hour. Recording is pretty fast. I record my videos in like 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and then editing is like an hour or two. So it's a couple of hours, but I like it. It's
It's
fun.
incredible because you're almost getting an entire new education about the world and what's happening within it that you're not getting through a normal education system.
Definitely.
Do you have
Definitely.
these discussions with your friends?
I do. I like to highlight the thing. Like they're very supportive of what I'm doing, but they're not entirely invested or interested in some of like the topics I talk about. But my parents and my sister, they're very open to hearing everything that I have to talk about. So yeah, my friends do support what I'm doing, but they're not entirely invested in like the process itself.
But are they invested in what the stories are about? Do you see that it's grabbing their attention? to something that they weren't even aware of?
Yes, yeah. I definitely think so because a lot of the topics or videos I talk about, they're not really talked much about in society. There are a lot of like I like to talk about different stories, news stories, things that like I myself never heard of before, or people that I have no idea actually existed or the impact that they're changing.
Is that how you choose your stories? Because there's a lot of stories out there. How do you narrow it down to like, this is something I'm going to highlight?
I like to highlight the stories that are very special, that like actually stick out to you. Like and I'm not trying to say that like I'm under estimating other stories. Like all the stories are beautiful, all the stories are great. But let's say like for example, food pantries. There are so many people out there that are already starting food pantries and stuff like that. But if I talk about like a food pantry, I like to talk about something that's special. Like what's new, what's special about that because it grabs people's attention. Because like as a viewer, if I'm hearing about something that I don't think it is special, like I think, oh well, there's like a million food pantries out there. It won't really make an impact with the viewer. But if I say this food pantry was done by like a boy that he was 6 years old, something like that, they're gonna be like, oh my god, how can a 6 year old start a food pantry? You know what I mean? So I try to find the special stories about like a topic that's like normal or it's often talked about in society.
I absolutely love that you're doing that because there's so many young individuals that look to do something and they immediately bring up all the guards of why it can't be done. So you highlighting a lot of the possibilities, it opens up our thinking, even for adults, that it's doable. There are solutions and there are people that care. How do you view the world yourself?
I view the world as honestly anything is impossible because from the stories that I'm hearing, you can literally do anything in the world and as long as you truly believe in it and you're truly invested in it and put the effort and work. I view the world as it gives you so many opportunities. Each problem is an opportunity. That's how I think about it. Like, if there are a million problems out there, that's a million opportunities for you. You just have to look about what are you passionate about? Because if you're not passionate about something, you're not going to be truly invested in it. Like, if I wasn't really passionate about making videos, then I wasn't gonna do it because it takes time. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes lots of thinking. So if I don't love it, then I won't continue. So I view the world as a good place. A lot of people think that the world is bad. No, I view the world as a good place. I think every country is good. Every single country is good in a way. There are good people, there are good stories. Maybe the politics or the people running the country aren't necessarily good, but you can't judge a country or the world based on the people that are running it. You have to look at each individual. We're all different, so we can't have like generalize.
Nana, is there anything that you'd like to share that I haven't asked you?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we touched on most of the things.
I appreciate you keep making those videos. They are making a gigantic impact. Again, that's how I found you, is through one of your videos. And I do appreciate your thought process. I appreciate everything that you're working on improving in the world. Keep doing those videos. And I
Thank
thank you for
you.
being with me today.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. It was a very good time.
Thank you.